Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with another Injustice online play. Or I guess it's not strictly online, but today we're going to be going through the quickest way to get through Phantom Zone and the best team to do it. And we will be showing it off in online.
Right. So the first step, which we didn't show you, was re-rolling all the tasks at the beginning before it costs you anything to get at least 2 out of the 3 best. We've got the basic damage and the 10 multiplayer fights in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is stealing health.
Yeah.
So we're not counting that time, but we're demonstrating this particular team because not only do we think it is, we can demonstrate all the concepts of how to get through it quickly, It is the best for it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why basic damage is one of the best tasks because you can complete it in just one fight with only the 3 times bonus for having your team intact, and then anything else is sort of gravy. And that was actually enough basic damage already. I mean, the key here is you really don't want to lose the fight, and you want to just get through it as quickly as possible. So once you've satisfied the requirement, you can just swap out and do something else, because now we're getting a little bit tight.
Yeah.
And
still getting some basic damage in there, though.
Yeah. I mean, it really... The key thing that people, I think, forget is they get too focused on the task, and they forget that one of the things is you want to get enough to get through the fight, and you don't want to lose a team member.
Yeah.
So there we go. So one of the reasons why this team is so good is New 52 Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are so many tasks that are power dependent. And so I mentioned Steel Health is the other best one because you can also finish that, but it's not quite as good as Basic Health because sometimes it can be difficult to steal enough health, unlike doing basic damage, which is, like I said, one fight. You can be completely done when you've got a basic damage dealer. So again, we're softening up the opponent to increase the damage, and that way we get more health steal because our new task that replaced basic was the health steal one. The LexCorp chest armor is doing a good chunk of damage, and we should be able to finish this in one fight, except I think Batman Ninja Batman is going to take reduced damage, so we'll do as best as we can. Oh, and he blocked it too. But it's I don't think it's worth swapping out over and over again, only because what it does is it costs you. And we just want to finish the fight. So we're just bleeding him out. We got the 3 power bars, and that's better than whatever reduced damage he's going. Like he's basically gone.
And also just the damage over time even.
Yeah. The other task that was really good is the 10 multiplayer fights. And you'll notice that we only got to 8 after that. It takes 2 to 3 fights, but it's worth it because it's worth double.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's 2 fights in the middle of it, then it's easier. So when we do the rolling at the beginning, you want to have 10 multiplayer fights as one of your tasks that's worth double. You just keep on re-rolling until you get either the basic damage or the health.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And right at the top, we should say that if you're looking for what gear we had, we went through all the gear.
Right. And so while we're doing that, we're going to try to complete the 120 damage over time task. And that becomes easier because of the makeup of this team where we've got 2 players now that are going to be doing a lot of damages.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, a lot of specials. When we build up enough for Aquaman, he's going to be able to come in and do lots of quick damage over time attacks as long as we don't knock her out with this.
Yeah.
Right, so there we go. Yeah, so the good thing for this team is that you swap out. If we'd had a damage over time gear on Wonder Woman, that would have been worth 36 towards the damage over time. Instead, how much do we get? Yeah, not a lot. Oh, and we were lucky. We got another reroll with basic damage. Mm-hmm. We're not even going to bother trying to do in Combo Ender because it's too slow. It'll just take too much to do, and stealing power is not possible. Like, it's just... the number of times that it actually registers, the number of characters that actually steal power, you'll spend way more time trying to do that than it would to finish every other task that you could.
It's totally broken. It doesn't work properly. If it was consistent, it would be fine. It wouldn't be ideal, but...
All right, so again, we're going to soften him up a bit, and we're going to... That means each basic damage attack does way more.
Yeah, the increased bleed damage really does help here. More than it hinders you by having dealt... that damage over time from bleed to reduce their health.
And that's already enough basic damage. We're already done.
But might as well, though, because it's so easy to finish with basic damage, too.
Yeah. Although, I mean, as an alternative, really bring in Wonder Woman to finish them off. It's just faster. The supers, if you get a sense of how much damage is getting done and whether you've satisfied the task, you're better off not wasting time, because that really is the one thing that slows you down. Normally on a team we can get through, and see that we almost didn't need the basic damage bonus. That was almost enough damage totally.
Yeah.
20 matches is not as good as 10, and it takes a lot longer because clearly it's more matches, and it it's worth half as much. But for some people who aren't doing multiplayer, they actually don't mind it. It's not a good one, but it's okay. It's decent. It's one of those ones that where you don't want to be working at that one specifically and ignoring the other ones. Whereas multiplayer, the 10 multiplayer, basic damage, and stealing health, it's worth it because, like I said, one match and then you're done and you move on to the next one. And when you think about it, you need 1,500 points to finish at the elite level. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to work on that specifically, if each fight gives you 135, you're almost there in about 10 fights, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the rate that you want to be going at. And there we go. What tasks did we have left? Sometimes, and it's easy to sort of lose track when you've been playing this a long time, to keep track of what you want to do. Oh. You saw that we were trying to bleed her, but it clearly didn't. All right, so that's not too bad. I think we lose one
some of the bonus. Yeah,
we lose 1/6 of our bonus, which would have been 6 times. Okay, we're doing not bad. It's been just under 7 minutes. We've got almost 700 points. So we still need 3 more fights to complete the 20 matches. 1 to complete the damage over time effect.
Yeah. And
then we should be good. Alright. So I think if we're looking at this, I think typically what you can do this in is somewhere around 20 minutes for 1 complete crystal at the elite level. And then that means you're looking at maybe about 5 hours over 2 weeks to get to finish the event. If you're not going to... I mean, I guess that goes without saying that if you're going to be resetting the Phantom Soul, you can do it more and generate more.
Yeah.
Farm more of the valorium alloy and the
but
metal.
5 hours at least spaced over 2 weeks, just for the one sort of crystal.
Right. Which I think is decent. And I think when you're focused on, like with this team, we might sometimes you get lucky. You could do it almost as fast as 15 minutes.
And you're also farming for battle points at the same time, is the important thing to note. So you're not just getting the crystal.
Right.
So especially if the reward that week is something that you're actually interested in, or I guess those 2 weeks, it makes the time go by a lot faster, especially when we do try to keep up with online, even in weeks that we're not particularly interested in the rewards.
Right. Okay. So I think that should give us the damage over time completed, right? We said 1 more fight, and I think that's about right.
There we go.
And tag-ins. All right, so tag-ins are too slow, and we still need another 700 points to finish. So that's not something that's worth actually doing, because the number of tag-ins, unless you've... I mean, even if you've got Hawk Girl to help your tag-in go slow, faster, you don't need to. All right, so we swapped out. Damage over time is worth it, even though it's worth less. It's worth only 70 points. You can sometimes complete it in 1 fight if it's a late stage in multiplayer like this, as long as you don't run into Astro Harness. I mean, there's other teams that are better, I think, for individual tasks like damage over time. So our strategy here is that instead of starting with Aquaman's 1 damage over time, because if we tag somebody else in, it's gonna finish too quickly. What we're gonna do is tag him out, bring in Wonder Woman to give him a bunch more bars, and then try to bleed out the last character. Or maybe even the second one, depending on how they tag in. So we want to crack him open first, because he blocked. Okay, so unfortunately, we've got 3 bars in Aquaman, but we need to get rid of that shield. And we're going to waste one of them to break his shield, and then we're just going to bleed him out some more.
There we go.
Well, actually, and the advantage is, because he had damage over time, the Injustice 2 Aquaman's passive more than makes up for it, and we're going to increase that. See, she's bleeding out too from the Quake engine, so I think we're going to be fine here. And we're probably going to be able to finish this in 1 fight. The biggest problem is you start off with his special 1, it just won't do enough damage. I mean, it's different if you're just trying for the number of effects, but if you want to get 400 something thousand, damage over time damage, you need to work a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm. Not too bad.
And Aquaman's got 3 bars.
Ooh.
And unlike other times where I try to get for the middle of the bar, I'm trying to get as little as possible so there's a better chance of getting damage over time.
Yeah.
There we go.
Deal then a higher percentage of the health, basically.
Right.
In damage over time instead of attack damage.
Yeah, that's the reason why. The main reason why the damage over time thing is the task is so difficult, because
you have to actually deal the damage of the specials in the first place. Yeah.
So Tagans aren't worth re-rolling only because even though they're slow to do,
yeah,
you'll eventually get them if you fight long enough.
And it's also better than like a dump spot that's totally useless.
Right. So you got to find
like
that balance,
steal,
right?
Yeah.
Because if you have too many of the things that you like and you re-roll just the one that's not, then there's a good chance you'll actually re-roll something that you don't want again, and it's a waste of re-roll.
It makes sense to re-roll things that are really sort of garbage, like power drain.
Right. Right. So except at the very beginning, it isn't worth re-rolling away every bad task. As long as you've got something you can finish quickly, see what else you get. So even if you have 3 bad tasks later on and you have one really fast one, like a basic health, basic attack, I'd rather just finish it because I'm still getting 135 points in one fight, and then I can see what I get after.
Yeah, and then you can re-roll the worst of 4 crappy ones if you have all bad ones.
Right, and there's a good chance, right? If you've got 3 crappy ones already, then your next one is actually going to be good and it's not going to cost you anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes, actually, when you've got the right task, like having to do lots of specials, it's actually good to get somebody with Astral Harness because you just get to do more specials.
Yeah. For no cost.
Right. Right, because it's Tantu Totem. And it's a decently fast fight. Ooh, nice. 10 online matches. So we should get about 405 points in the next couple fights, right? So with the multiplayer the 10 fights in a row, and 135 from stealing health. So we're well on our way to finishing our task. And it's only been, 12 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is going to be... what else do we have to say about Phantom Zone? I mean, it is one of the things when you were saying earlier about how it's... Because you're not just doing that. It's not like... it's not like, say, playing Survivor.
Or Breakthrough.
Where, all you're really doing is one particular job. Right now, we're ranking up in multiplayer, and we're finishing our Phantom Zone task. So we're farming valorium alloy, which is probably the most important thing of Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
I think one thing that people forget and get distracted by is that they're hoping that the card is really good, and if they don't get a good card, they're disappointed. Valorium alloy, there's nowhere else that you can get it except with Phantom Zone, so it's definitely worth doing it. So hopefully we get enough health on that.
Yeah, and it's good because it's also consistent. So if you restructure your sort of expectations or hopes to be around the thing that you know you're going to get some of, instead of the thing that you only hope you might get something good from.
And we got basic damage
better.
Back. Yep. So we should be done. So in the next round we're gonna get we'll finish our 10 multiplayer as long as we don't get all knocked out, and we're gonna get basic damage. Yeah. So same idea as the last time. We're just gonna soften it with Aquaman. It's not necessary. We'll still finish the fight. It speeds it up a bit. So you don't want to lose sight of the fact that no matter what task you're completing, if you can do it a little bit faster, it's just going to be better. And while we were invulnerable, we didn't bother blocking, right? Because we just want to generate more power. Not because we're going to use it, hopefully, but it'll help keep us alive if we need to. It heals us a little bit. But that's a general sort of strategy.
Yeah.
When you've got your Astral Harness active. So we've done enough basic damage, I think, and we don't want to risk losing the multiplayer bonus, and we want to finish the fight in a decent amount of time. So if we left Batman in, we'd probably be struggling a little bit because we've already used up 1 or 2 of his invulnerabilities.
Yeah, and there's the chance that he gets knocked out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's that passive. Gotham City. I can't remember his name. That Batman, he's annoying because he's one of those entry hazard guys, and even though the amount of damage is not a lot, it makes me not want to bring in... Oh, so that's it.
There we go.
We don't want to bring in our Tentu Totem or Master Zethir person because it's a waste of time. So we would have needed to recharge to finish this fight to get the bonus. And at the end of it, we would have still had to recharge again to be able to afford to go to the Phantom Zone. So
yeah,
just go straight to Phantom Zone. Because that's what we're trying to do. I mean, if we're going to prioritize one or two, eventually we're going to play enough that the bonuses for multiplayer, strictly like battle points, aren't going to matter so much.
Yeah, we're going to get into the top 5% pretty easily if we're grinding this anyways.
Yeah. And it's only been 15 minutes, 15 and a half. This is one of the quicker runs.
I don't remember what the lore is. Is he guarding the crystal or is he in the crystal?
Oh,
I
have no idea. Maybe we're farming his body for crystals. Maybe he's got them in him and we're mining them out of his body.
It's a little dark.
It is. All right, so which crystal is this? Is this the... I wonder if we'll get a nice bonus at the end of it if we're going to do... Maybe we'll do a second run.
Oh, so this wasn't the character.
Yeah, so we'll do a second run. It'll give us the final character, and it'll be a demonstration of how the team is. So this is the part that's a little time-consuming.
The task reroll until we get 2 out of the 3. And so we're swapping back and forth from veteran to elite, which does reroll the tasks before you've selected which crystal you're going to do.
Right. So if we get 3 out of the 3 tasks that we want, that is ideal.
Yeah.
But getting 2 out of 3 is okay as long as the other 2 tasks are doable and they're not some of the crappy ones.
Because the point is that you want to balance tasks that are faster to complete against tasks that take you less time to actually randomly roll into.
Right.
And so the best balance that we found is, if you have like a garbage task for one of the other 2, then the calculus changes a little bit.
Right.
But you want 2 out of 3 good tasks and then 2 mediocre tasks.
Right.
Every once in a while you get all good tasks, but it doesn't happen that often.
And in some ways it might even be a little bit more dangerous, only because if everything is really good and you finish them quick, you end up with junk.
Yeah, they get replaced. I guess the good news is, at least, as long as they don't get replaced at the same time. But the whole point of the good ones is that you are finishing them at around the same time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, the junk is really power drain, super moves.
Yeah.
And so you can eyeball this one really fast, switching back between elite and veteran, because if you don't see the 270 in the points, then you know you didn't get the 10 multiplayer fights.
Yeah.
And I guess if you did just the basic damage and the steel health, it would be okay if you got the right team.
Mm-hmm.
But
we just hold out for the 270 and then look for what the other stuff is.
Right, and it may feel like this is a bit of a waste of time, but you'll get it back on the end of it when you're actually completing the tasks and you're able to manage them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so this is it, actually. Super moves takes too long. It's definitely not worth doing.
Oh, no, so we'll not actually keep that one. Just because of super
we were
moves.
just close. We were really close. But, I mean, listen, we were at, just over 15 minutes, and now we're at 18. And, again, it seems like it's a waste. It's totally worth it, though, only because you could end up spending a lot longer trying to complete it.
Yeah.
And these rerolls are free. And I guess, did we say, if it isn't obvious, we're just switching back between veteran
Yeah,
and
we
elite.
did. We mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh. No, not quite.
Yeah, it's...
Oh.
Yeah, so this is not bad.
Okay.
So tag-ins and damage over time effects are doable. Steel health and 10 multiplayer fights are good.
Yeah.
So this is the ideal kind of thing that we want starting, and we're up
2
to 19
good,
minutes now.
1 sort of mediocre,
Right.
and 1, moderate, sort of neutral maybe.
Right. So
Mediocre being worse than neutral in this case.
So in average, this next bit will take 20 minutes, and if it goes really well, it'll be as fast as 15. And I guess if we get really unlucky, it might take us more than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What was it? Steel health. My problem is sometimes I forget what the tasks were. I think it was steel health and 10 multiplayer fights. So we just want to get through this as quickly as possible. We're going to focus on our specialist, who is New 52 Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And we're just going to soften them up again like before, only because then each hit she does will steal more health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to do well enough that we're going to be able to steal it from everybody.
Thank God the steal health doesn't actually need the health to be applied to your health pool. Like, it doesn't need to be stuff that you've lost.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it would suck.
Ooh, I think we're just a little bit short. Because he blocked the last one.
Okay.
I mean, we could have tried to tag out and tag back in, but because we've got that other task of 10 multiplayer fights, what we wanted...
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Yeah, we've got the 10 multiplayer fights. It's better just to motor through it. We'll swap out both of them and hopefully we'll get something better. Because we could have actually drawn out the fight a bit more, tagged out, waited, and tagged back in. So we're going to soften up Batman before we tag in New 52 Wonder Woman. In this kind of fight, because we don't want Raven to tag in and grab all our power, we want to be in the middle of our special. I mean, we always run that risk, right, that Aquaman's going to do too much damage. But see
because we also did a lot of the steal health last time, and we're just sort of cleaning up here.
Right. So
it's less important.
So that was perfect, right? Raven, when she tagged in, we were still in the middle of the end of our special 2.
Yeah.
All right, and we've done enough life drain. We'll just get some more tag-ins and damage over time effects, which we've got, which are free. Here we go.
Yeah. See what we're looking at in terms of crystal progress. Or, I guess, challenge progress.
There we go. 1 down. Damage over time is not bad. It's 70 points only, but we should be able to finish it in 1. Again, that sucks. Astro Hearts. Or, so, well, actually, no, that's not too bad. It'll let us build up Aquaman really fast.
Yeah.
We'll save his first bar. We'll power him up to 3 bars, and then stack as many bleeds as possible. Quake Engine will let us double up when the bleeds end, so I think we've got a really good chance. We just have to wait it out. And it'll be fast enough that it won't be too long to wait.
Mm-hmm.
So Astro Harness usually lets us do generate 3 bars. However, because the gears we've got in Wonder Woman, we don't automatically get the second. We just did special 1 a few times. And now, he's got, I hate when he attacks us when he's got the invulnerability because it wastes some of the time that we could be generating more power.
Although everybody else has full power at
now
this
they
point.
do, yeah, Batman does. All right. Oh, it's almost too bad that we didn't tag in Aquaman faster, so we could have given him the reverse bleed.
Yeah. Okay, and the good news is Quake Engine, so we can see Harley Quinn here has also all the bleeds.
Yes.
And she's just gonna bleed out.
Yeah, that's why we're just waiting. I mean, we want to make sure that she takes enough of the bleed damage. I think that might be enough.
Yeah, that's one of the cases where, as you can see, we needed to deal another about half of her damage, so we could have probably hit her with a couple things, but it's hard. It's always hard to tell, and it's always, well, it's a bit of a personal preference to make sure that we get the right amount of bleed in.
What's weird to me is that the basic damage number is 300-something thousand, and the damage over time is 400-something thousand, and it requires more.
Yeah, because damage over time...
We made it.
Oh, there we go. Damage over time is actually a harder... Oh, Hell Steel.
Yeah, that's good. We love that.
Yeah, because damage over time is a much harder damage to actually apply.
If you're going to do a fast fight.
It's way less consistent. And also, everybody deals basic damage. You deal that in the course of normal gameplay. Yeah. So it's weird that they think dealing damage over time for some reason is the number that needs to be more.
And be worth less.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in a fight that lasts longer, I think it makes sense that damage over time is not going to be that difficult to do. But when you're actually trying to find that balance between having a team that's good for all the fights, all the tasks, then you have to have a quick team. And you don't want to be slowing down too much because it's going to interfere with your ability to do the other jobs.
Yeah, you don't want to be like a Pokemon gym leader, right? Where you can only do one Phantom Zone Crystal task with your whole thing.
That was done. I think that was more than enough.
Because then all of a sudden somebody shows up with like a single grass-type Pokemon and the whole water gym is just made to look like an idiot.
Yeah, we got the damage over time task again. Awesome. So it should be fast. Oh, except Killer Frost is going to slow us down because we won't generate as much power. Alright, yeah. We're not going to have 2 bars.
Yeah, so we'll be able to give away a little bit.
So one of the alternate strategies is you just leave Aquaman in and keep on trying to fight like now, generate more power.
Yeah, and then use the special ones naturally.
Yeah. and that slows down the fight, but it also means that two people are going to be taking damage, and that can almost make up for it. So we're almost at our next bar. Oh, shoot. Oops. Well, that sucks. So we lost.
That sucks on a couple of reasons.
Multiple. Yeah.
We also lost our ability to continue stacking up damage over times.
Yes. Because what we should have done or could have done was swap out Ibistic into her loadout and instead of the LexCorp armor. And so she would have been doing damage over time for every hit.
Yeah. So we'll take an extra fight. We'll take our little bit of damage over time that we've just earned up here, but we'll have to take it into the next fight.
So this is a good illustration, I think, of why this team is so good. Because even if we're screwing up, we're still actually on pace to do 2 crystals in less than 40 minutes, averaging less than 20 minutes each.
Yeah, when we say average of 20 minutes, right, we're obviously showing that that's not nearly a perfect run. That includes mistakes.
Right.
Because
this is real world stuff, not like the one where you're looking at the time. You see, the fight said it only took like 8 seconds when we're load times messing up. Yeah. Yeah,
and we're not talking about like your run stitched together from the best possible each individual battle, right? Yeah. And more than luckier than average rolls.
Yeah, and you might have noticed we didn't wait for a special 2 because we don't have the gear loadout to guarantee that we have 2 bars every time, so there's a chance we wouldn't have been able to do a special 2.
Yeah.
Nice extra damage over time. We can give back to him because he gave it to us. Every time we do a special on when he's got his flames intact, we're giving him some back. Although I wonder if that counts because he's immune to his own fire. It looks like the animation was there, right?
Yeah. Hard to know for sure.
Look at all the blood the Joker's spilling from his gut.
Yeah. We almost killed him too fast, but we'll have the damage over time on this fight, or at least we should.
Right, because this is the second one.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe we'll eat this special. I mean, if we needed to, we could probably... we need to eat that special.
Yeah, so I guess just in case, swap Aquaman back in just to get that last little bit of juice out of our damage over time.
Yeah.
Just in case. I think we already have it. I'm not 100% sure. There we go.
Yeah.
We definitely have it now.
Yeah. All right, so what do we get instead? Ooh,
stun sucks. we were already way close.
Yeah, stun is no good, but the basic damage is great. It's quick. We'll get through it. This is the example where it's not worth re-rolling anything because we know that we're going to have an empty slot again. We're going to get 135 points.
Yeah.
And we're going to re-roll anyway, so we'll see what it is. So that's part of the strategy is sort of managing your task too, right? You don't always have to re-roll if you get something bad, as long as you've got alternate tasks that are still pretty good.
Yeah, keep that spending low. I wish that the Phantom Zone reset and the re-rolls used credits. Because it seems weird to use a good currency on earning a good currency, right?
Yeah. I guess the only good thing is that the Anthem Medal you can get other ways. You can get it in Survivor.
That's true. Still, you know what I mean? It feels like...
You know what would be really bad if you had to spend Valorium Alloy to reroll.
That would be awful. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, it sort of makes sense thematically that it's all the new stuff.
Oh, crap. Alright, so this was a basic damage task. Oh, crap.
Oh, there was not a lot of basic damage there, huh?
Yeah, after just saying about how fast it would beat in one fight. So...
there we go. How much?
That was the 10 multiplayer we got. Yeah. So we should be done. So we got a little bit lucky there. But so we've screwed up twice. We're still on pace, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah. Not massive screw-ups, though. Nothing like losing when you should be winning.
Right. That's actually going to be the biggest screw-up is if you lose a fight.
I say losing when you should be winning. Like, there's a time where you should be losing. Losing full stop, I should say.
Alright, so there's really no risk in this fight that I can see. Most of the time with a fight, I think, as long as the first person is not a danger, you almost don't need to look at the rest of the gears only because it wastes time. And if you can reduce it to a 3 versus 2 fight, even if they've got a couple guys that are perfectly geared and that they're really great, you're not in any danger.
Ooh, that was
unexpected.
Wait, what was?
It was supposed to soften him up, but instead he got knocked out. So we just
Why is this team so? I guess it's the first fight.
Yeah.
But this team is so wimpy.
Not just wimpy, unbalanced. I did not expect the first guy to get knocked out.
But even this, right? Ostensibly their sort of powerhouse is not.
Yeah.
Not got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that.
There's the basic damage. Steal health again. Oh, and I guess we haven't had to show it because we've had so much luck with having the right tasks. But, I mean, you can use by going to the store, you can swap out the gears in the middle of a multiplayer ladder so you don't actually have to stop the ladder.
Yeah.
And if we were so motivated, we could swap out for Ibis Stick to just make the fight itself faster, but it just takes time to do it. And we've gotten steal health so often that we're doing fine.
That we're keeping it.
Famous last words. We just need to, as long as he doesn't get us the lock.
There we go.
We're gonna get all that health back. And now
there we go. Yeah, that's the other advantage of having somebody geared up to steal health. Is that if you take some hits that you weren't expecting to take, you can steal a lot of health.
Yeah.
A lot of health.
Right, so that was the second fight, so I think that bonus should be enough that's a 1 round completion.
Let's see.
Oh,
there we go. Perfect.
And basic damage. Okay.
And as you can see, our taggins is also slowly creeping up. Right? We haven't been paying attention to it, but
right, it's not to me it's not one of those tasks that's, unless you're stuck with a bunch of stuff and you really want to save your nth metal, not re-roll, and everything else is crap. Yeah. I think the tag-in, you just leave it. In the course of the fight, you will get all your tag-ins. Mm-hmm. And if you're focused on just doing that, the fight can drag on way too long. It's not worth it. You're better off just trying to finish your other tasks.
But we're getting a couple tag-ins, and we're getting the multiplier bonus pretty much every fight. I mean, sometimes we only get one tag-in. Like, if we don't swap out this fight, that'll be one tag-in and then our multiplier.
Yeah. But again, when you've got one of the 3 best tasks, you want to get through it fast.
Oh, there we go.
That was enough.
Yeah, there's our tag-ins.
Yeah.
And there we go. So that did help us go right over the border.
So we've talked about the good tasks already. There's the slower tasks that you don't have to roll out. You're going to get through them eventually. Mm-hmm. Some of them are really awful, like the stun, unless you've got a team like an Earth 2 team to take advantage of it. There's some that are just not worth doing because they're useless. They take forever. Even if you've got a team that's geared specifically for it, 80 supers just takes too long.
Yeah, and steel power is just not functional.
It just doesn't work. And 80 supers, I guess, if you had a team like Red Lantern Hal Jordan where you could start off with a super.
Yeah, or potentially a Shazam team where but then you have to...
You could do 2 supers.
I guess
immediately
so, yeah.
with Red Lantern Hal Jordan and give him Astro Harness.
I was thinking, but Shazam doesn't even get it. I was Killing Joke Joker, you'd have to lose your multiplier, so there's nobody really that's great.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Even if you do things perfectly, I think with Red Lantern Hal Jordan, you're going to average maybe 8 or 3 supers a fight. Even with your full bonus, that's 18. You're looking at a minimum of 5 fights to...
Yeah, playing specifically around that and nothing else.
Right.
Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx.
There we go.
All right, what do we get?
Cash in.
Ooh.
Pretty garbage, unfortunately.
But, 2 crystals, 34 minutes. I think that's what we call success.
Yeah, so there we go. And I think that's going to do it for this video.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Komoda.